Hello and welcome to a new lesson, Definition of Linguistics by Jean Aitchison, Lecture-13. According to Jean Aitchison, linguistics tries to answer two basic questions, two basic fundamental beliefs it has. And what is that? The first one is, what is language? As a normal human being, if you think about what is language, what comes to your mind is that language is something that happens in the mind, that originates in the mind, that occurs in the mind. Mind is the birthplace of language. And if you think about language is the creation of the mind, it takes you to the area of psycholinguistics. But another individual, another person might look at language from different point of view. He might relate language and the brain that helps language to process. The mechanism it develops to generate language in the mind. And if you look at the language from this point of view, this takes you to neurolinguistics. But there may be another person who might think language not as the creation of mind, not as the mechanism of brain. Rather, language is the result of social communication. Language is the result of society. Language originates in the society. People speak language in the society. Society creates the language. Society makes the language happen. If you look at language from this point of view, this might take you to social linguistics. And there could be a number of other areas with which you can relate what is language. Once you establish your area of interest, your area of discovery, your area of knowledge, what is language? Then the next question that comes to our mind is, how does language work? Once you establish the fact that there's a deep connection between the mind and the language, which leads you to psycholinguistics, then you begin to explore the analytical methods that help you develop the connection between the language and the mind. In the same fashion, once you come to the belief that there is certain mechanism in the brain that helps language happen, then you begin to look at the ways how it works. Likewise, you have society and language. Once you know, or once you establish the fact that there's a deep connection between language and society, and of course there is, then you want to know how does it work? How does society help language happen? How does brain help language happen? How does mind help language happen? So these are two basic questions according to Jean Aitchison. And the first question is, what is language? And the second question is, how does language work? And I think in these two questions, we get the answers of most of the possible questions that might originate from the idea of what basically linguistics is all about. So I love this definition in this way because of its comprehensive nature. Most of the definitions in their own ways are complete. Okay, a review of definition. Linguistics tries to answer two basic questions, and the first one is, what is language? And the second one is, how does language work? Jean Aitchison. Hope you understand the concept. Thank you and goodbye.